regarding the K word. It goes viral regarding the K word.
Yeah.
So if let's say you are the chairman of that party, will you terminate her from the party or you still keep her?
Podcast ini dibawakan khas kepada anda oleh KHALIFA Realtors. Biasanya banyak masalah akan timbul dalam proses penjualan atau membeli rumah di Singapura.
Masalah HFE, loan, grant, cash ataupun faraid. Senang cakap, masalah-masalah ini memang tak akan habis.
Ya, memang ada beribu ejen hartanah di Singapura. Tetapi kenapa KHALIFA Realtors? Kerana dorang berpengalaman lebih dari 20 tahun. Dorang sangat profesional. Dorang akan membimbing anda dalam penjualan dan pembelian rumah anda seperti seorang Khalifah.
Dorang juga akan jaga hati klien dorang walaupun ada klien yang sangat leceh. Dan yang paling penting, dorang selalu angkat Top Agent Award setiap tahun.
Dah tak perlu fikir-fikir lagi nak pakai ejen yang mana. Hubungi KHALIFA Realtors di talian
8892-5882.
Ikuti socials kami di Facebook, Instagram dan TikTok @KHALIFA Realtors.
KHALIFA Realtors, kita kasih settle.
Sorry. Jom ah. KAHTEL 100 on the gas, I try to bro. Takkan silap kata bila go. Flex up on them collars, money shows. Dulu tak ada orang mansion, sekarang semua on attention. We on the road, cari beras. Dapat sesuap pun tak berkeras. Keraskan hatiku, kerjakan mimpi dan lost on my peers at the pain in the past. No, I'm not sorry for knowing my worth. The blood that I've lost for a dream that I earned. It's for what you think, I'ma speak on my mind till the day that I die. It's KAHTEL till it burns. I know I'm different, I'm on my own wave. I might cakap, let's get it, tapi semua swerve. Banyak suka tembak nama, suka buang masa. Apa korang nak church? I got some people that's praying, hoping the shit that I'm on takkan last, I'm a servant. Saya nasib pun tak ada orang pasal untuk korang tengok. Sekarang was the word, sekarang kita
So where were we?
Sorry, which
so like what I said, at the end of the day, whether you are the alternative or the government, you must take care of all.
Okay.
Every single person, every single Singaporean is a Singaporean. Regardless. We cannot discriminate the rich, we cannot discriminate the poor or marginalize the poor. So this is the thing that we have to look at together. Both the government and the alternative working together to see how we can solve these problems. Because if you've seen from the track record of the past 4 years, 4.5 years, the government has not been able to solve this high cost of living issue.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, the government has not been able to solve this escalating housing issue. Transportation, utilities, which is very much within their control, right? Water, electricity, right? And many other things, school fees, childcare, so many things. The thing is, the fundamental thing is that the government has got, in my view, I may be wrong, but in my view is that they increase the cost, like the GST and all that, they increase, and then they give you subsidy. In economics, this is one way. It's not wrong. But the other way is that you control the cost increase in the first place so that you do not need to give the subsidy. Why? In my view, why do they do that? If you give subsidy to the people, then you can gain their
trust,
loyalty,
their support.
Loyalty and support. So I don't blame them. But who suffers? Who suffer? Who? You, not him. Right? You suffer, but not him. Because he lives in Toa Payoh.
But if you buy food, also have to pay GST, also the same.
Maybe he gets discount. I'm not sure.
Because you see, just my personal opinion down here regarding real estate. Okay, let's talk about HDB.
Okay,
easier for us to understand. Resale market, to me, my view is it's difficult for us to control because of the buyers. Let's, for example, you sell a HDB flat, 5-room flat, and you offer so high, 800,000. If there's a buyer who bought that house, so people FOMO. So all the other neighbors will start to sell around that price range. Now, when it comes to BTO, BTO is not, the prices are not decided by the open market.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's decided by the government.
Yeah.
Why do the price of BTO keep rising?
You have to ask the government, not me.
Okay.
So let me explain, okay? Let me explain. You know, okay? Firstly, for the housing market, right?
Yeah.
It started when we became independent. We have this policy of creating affordable housing for Singaporeans.
Right.
When they were pushing people out of the villages and all that, which is a good policy. Which was a good policy, right? So, over time, in any system, if over time, any problems or any issues or any mistakes not rectified, the problems will escalate. We have reached to a situation where this problem is really very difficult to rectify unless there's a reset. But can you reset housing? No. So this is the problem that the government is facing but cannot admit. In my view again, cannot admit.
Yeah, but
Because
I think
if I'm the government, I won't admit.
Hold on to that.
Yeah.
So in terms of BTO, right? So they can say resale market, open market.
Right.
But the BTO is basically the price floor, right?
Yes.
The entry level, right? The problem is, over time, when they first built the HDB, land cost was not factored into the
To the price.
the final price.
Yes.
over time, what I learned is that they actually included that land cost.
The land cost, yeah.
In a small country like Singapore, right, which is land scarce, what do you think will happen? If you see you have foresight, your government is the best, you have the best intellect, scholars, you should have foresight to know if you add anything, a scarce resource into the product, that product will become expensive. Land, basic economics, land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. You guys, number 4, including intellectual property. So, but can I admit, if I've done that as a policy, can I admit to you that it's a mistake? I cannot.
Yeah.
So they'll try to find another solution, basically.
But the problem is, you cannot find a holistic solution because the problem is escalating, accumulating. What they can do is keep on tweaking. When you tweak something, it's like you modify your car, no? But it's not a brand new car. No?
Yeah.
You modify, you feel like, oh, shock, this is a BMW M6, but it's actually, some other engine. Yeah. So this is the problem.
Yeah.
But who's facing the consequences? The social consequences. Right? We as
The
citizens,
residents, so difficult to see.
Yeah.
But the majority of us, not some privileged people.
Okay.
No, I mean, there are privileged people in Singapore who would definitely not feel.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, but sir,
Definitely.
privilege or not, everybody has CPF, and I'm on the fence with the CPF scheme.
CPF, good. Yeah.
Okay,
Your friends.
I'm on the fence.
Okay,
with
okay.
the CPF scheme.
Okay, let's talk
But
about it.
on the topic of housing, I feel like the grants are honestly very good. If you actually BTO, I think your grants can go up to $100,000, right? And that's a huge cost of what is already expensive. Yes, I agree with you, right? But the argument is also that when you BTO, right, and when you sell it, you are profiting minimally 100,000 to 200,000 from what you bought it at. And also, this is how most Singaporeans make their wealth, through flipping BTOs, because this is the options that they have lah. So what I'm trying to say is, yet while they cannot admit that it is a mistake, but I feel like the solutions that they come up with, for example, with the grants and allowing BTO to be sold. Okay, now it's 10 years lah. Okay, last time it's 5 years, so now it's actually even worse for 10 years. That
10 years, certain
Areas.
yes.
Yeah.
Like near to Central Town, all 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah. So you can flip it and earn income. But what I'm trying to say is actually the solutions are okay. So as much as it sounds very unaffordable, 300,000 for a 3-room flat or up to $500,000, the CPF scheme, in what I feel, is one of the reasons why the younger generation can buy a home.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, look at the mandate or charter of HDB. When we first became independent as a nation, The mandate was to build affordable homes for Singaporeans so that every Singaporean has a roof over their head.
Yeah.
This is the most basic in the Maslow's hierarchy.
Right.
Food, clothing, homes, right? Simple. So, over time, you change the mandate. Okay, fine, granted. Right? You change the mandate. Then you drag CPF into it, right? Right, CPF into it. Again, I ask you, what is the mandate for CPF? It's for retirement. Is CPF for housing? No. So you are confusing both issues. You are putting it into one, right? Two different mandates. One is that you need affordable homes.
Yeah.
The other one is you need enough retirement. Right now, most Singaporeans, especially those living in my ward,
I think
Bombay,
98% of them
Yeah.
thought that CPF are only used to buy HDB flats.
exactly, and most of them now do not have enough retirement savings to live a dignified life. That's
Yeah.
why we said that.
Quoted on your PSP manifesto,
Yeah.
living with dignity.
Yeah.
We are still on the housing.
If we are first world country, don't we deserve to live with dignity?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
But sir, I just want to ask you, like, can you share with us on your views, like how can you make housing affordable for all Singaporeans?
Okay, firstly, don't call me sir, bro. Call me Lucky.
Lucky, bro. People call him lucky.
Tak ada gua lupa tau. Ini tak ada. Ini tak ada, dia tak ada compete dia jalan keluar tau. Gua pasti dia.
Oh, dia kira dia.
Gua apa? PAP kah? Merah kah? Apa gua jalan? I'm joking, sir.
By the way, I grew up in Bisekai.
Lucky,
You know where
lucky.
that is?
Yeah, where you know?
Cikopua,
I don't know.
Bukit Timah.
Oh, Cikopua Bukit Timah.
Yeah, ni
Then you
ah.
also Bukit Timah sir. So you also privileged lah. I Toa Payoh ni sial.
Kira brother Toa Payoh mah.
Mr. Lucky, you stay Bukit Timah.
Yeah.
Ada sen.
Then don't talk. Then we don't talk the NGB. We talk GCB ni lah.
No. My friends live in GCB, not me. Okay. So about the housing issue, right?
Yeah.
That's why in our proposal, right? Firstly, anyway, whether it's 100,000 or a million, I want to address him because
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
You need CPF grants.
he's your nearest.
No, he seems to be a bit misguided.
You're talking about grants, right?
Your grants, like if you're at 100,000, on its own it sounds great,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? But for everything in life, it must be put to perspective. It's relative.
Yeah.
If it's 100,000 out of 400, the cash outlay is 300,000. If it's 200,000 out of 800, it's still 600. You look at the quantum, it's still high. Okay? And if you say it's affordable, what is your definition of affordable? Paying it over 25 years? That's not affordability.
Yeah.
Because we've now us losing jobs with a lot of retrenchments,
Yeah.
your economic lifespan is getting shorter. So let's say if you have a productive economic lifespan of 20 years, you start working 25, 45. After that, you get retrenched.
Yeah.
Then you do whatever side hustle. But you still need to pay your housing over 25 years.
Yep.
How are you going to survive?
Okay.
Number one. Number two, and you use your CPF to pay for the housing.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it gets depleted. Right?
Okay.
So how are you going to survive in the last few years of your life when there's no more support? So PSP, the Progress Singapore Party, are one of our solutions, right? Again, I'm telling you, if the problem is too huge over time built, keep on growing, there's no perfect solution. This is the premise.
Yeah.
What we can do is only try to help.
Yeah.
The problem was not created by us. We didn't create the problem. We are just here to help Singaporeans. So our affordable home housing scheme is that we are saying we defer the land cost. We take out land cost from BTOs. If let's say the price of a BTO is 400,000,
Yeah.
we know roughly land cost is about 50%, let's say.
Right.
Right? So you price it at 200,000 instead of having to pay 20 years of your life, we reduce it by half. It goes down to 10.
Fully paid.
What will happen in your life if you get married 25? In your life from 35 onwards, you are free economically. You are free from loans. Then you can have better life. Number one. Number two, you will venture out to do business.
Yeah.
to do other things in life because all the burden has already been settled. Now, as Singaporeans, for the young, if they are saddled with loan for the next 20-25 years,
Right.
would you venture into business?
No.
No. Would you venture into pursuing your passion?
No.
No. So, this is the problem. That's the reason why we lack creativity, we lack entrepreneurship, we lack everything. Even for the big corporations, it's all government owned. Where is the ground up kind of a business enterprises? I talk about business because I believe you guys can relate.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about small businesses, big businesses. It's gone by the GLC. Handled. Small businesses, right? People nowadays are getting into business because they don't have much alternative. It's not they really want.
Yeah.
They are probably displaced, like what you shared with me just now.
Yeah.
Not you, but you shared with me that I hear people, they're getting displaced or their current jobs are not enough to pay for their living expenses.
Yeah.
Hence, they are pushed to start their own business or they don't have even any job opportunity. They are pushed to doing their own business. You go Ramadan Bazaar, so many entrepreneurs amongst our youth. It's good.
Yeah.
And in any case, there may be positive outcome from this problem created in the past. There may because why? If there are not many job opportunities, entrepreneurship might go up, right? But this is not a planned thing, right? This is an incidental outcome. As the government, it's your job to take care of your citizens because every 5 years, you need to get back their mandate. If you don't take care of me, why should I vote for you? Right?
Right.
That's why the PSP's manifesto is full of policies that shows care, concern, and compassion. Because we believe progress is for all, not for the elite few, and definitely not to let the marginalized, the bottom 20 live day by day, month by month, or whatever.
Okay. Do you agree on Mr. Lucky? I
No,
think
on the-
Attack me, please. Attack me.
we need, that's why the reason why I asked you to sit
Okay,
beside
but
me.
why do you think the government is making housing so expensive?
It's not that they are making it so expensive. Like what I mentioned, the
land
mandate
cost,
original was affordable housing. But over time, with the change of people, the mandate has been changed, right? So it somehow lost its original mission, right? And then things get out of control because at the end of the day, if you make public housing being like a private business, public housing,
Yeah.
public goods become private enterprise, then you cannot control because it's market forces.
Yeah.
Resale flats are already based on market forces.
Yeah.
Right.
No person would want to sell cheaper than what they bought unless they are desperate. There are instances, but unless they are desperate. Because when they buy a resale, let's say 500,000,
Right.
the cost is not 500,000 because you take loan.
Right.
That loan maybe can be cost you 100,000. So your effective cost is 600. You need to sell based on your cost price plus the interest cost.
And also the CPF return.
And exactly.
Yeah, when you took grants like 100,000, right?
Yeah.
Have to add up with your current CPF OA.
Yeah.
So that 100k where you get it, if you want to sell back, you have to return back that 100k.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is nothing about being a politician. This is a common man's knowledge.
Right.
I do not need to share. Everybody knows this nowadays because I believe the younger generation below 40 are very educated. They cannot be appeased or be accommodated or be I won't say entertained, be appeased by some kind of muddled statements that we will care for you.
Right.
No, they want to see tangible results. You have to be accountable. You have to be responsible.
Yeah.
Don't just tell me, don't worry, we'll manage. Show me the blueprint. Just like I want to ask, where is our new economic direction?
Right.
Where are the jobs of the future? Have you heard? If I'm in the government, right? But we are not.
Yeah.
The first and foremost, like what Lee Kuan Yew did, I want to go into this direction. Economically, we want to do this. we first started with industrialization, many factories giving jobs, good quality jobs.
Right.
Even a factory operator in that environment back then is a good quality job, enough to raise a family.
Right.
So I now ask, where is our new economic direction? Have you heard? I've not. Is there any blueprint? If there's no blueprint, what is there for our youth to look up to? Right? This is the reason when I do my groundwork outreach, all the young people below 30, fresh grads come to me. Sir, thank you for speaking up for us. Thank you for fighting. Take selfies with me. I'm an unknown.
Yeah.
Just because I wear the PSP uniform, they know we are actually sacrificing for their future. I'm past. You guys, I'm past.
So
I'm
they
done.
they realize that it's gonna be difficult for them to get jobs in the future.
All the young people below 30, they know it. So my message to them is that you convince your parents.
Oh.
Yes.
To vote lah. To vote.
Jadi berani.
I mean, bro, there's no government today. The government has been dissolved.
Yeah. But this is good. To be honest, like kita pernah ada debate dengan parents kadang. Kita boleh bergaduh tau benda ni. Dah macam ba, don't vote for the
Don't vote for you lah.
Don't vote
Don't vote for you.
Don't vote you. No, tak boleh because I don't have any problems with them.
No, because orang lama cakap, the old people say, I orang tua lah. I will always vote PAP lah.
Are your voters, are your viewers young people?
Oh, yes,
Young
bro.
people.
I've got this one winning formula.
Okay.
Which I do to my parents. Okay. I'm not shy to say it, but of course I don't execute.
Oh,
I tell them,
Dios looking at you. So.
if you vote for the PAP, I'm not going to give you any more allowance.
Oi! Owen, you got anything to say? Owen? Okay.
So you use then you're actually like the PAP, sir. Because PAP give us CDC vouchers to vote for them. But your PAP to your parents.
So you answered it right. Because my parents are conditioned by the PAP.
Right.
Only money or help counts. So I use the to teach them to understand. I use the PAP method.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm not filial. I'm very filial, right? But you must strike fear. That's how we will fear. The old people are fearful.
Right.
Until now, they think their vote is not a secret. Your vote is a secret.
Oh, we talked about this before. Yeah, with another party.
Yeah.
But for example, if let's say you have a candidate who, you know what happened with another party from SDP regarding the what do you call it? The K word. It goes viral regarding the K word.
Yeah.
So if let's say you are the chairman of that party, will you terminate her from the party or you still keep her? I just need to know your position and so on.
Okay. I cannot answer this only because I'm not in that position.
Right.
Right? So, if you see, otherwise, my answer will be pure speculation.
Right.
I do not want to be populist, nor do I want to hurt anybody's feelings. No.
I see.
Right? So, the only person who can answer is the person actually sitting in that position.
Which he accepted apology lah, basically. Yeah.
Fine,
he
whatever
accepted
they
apology.
want to do.
Right.
Unless I'm in that position, then you will see my action.
Oh, I see.
Kami bersama dengan teman-teman penaja KHALIFA. Kita kembali dengan topik perbualan seperti biasa part kedua. What are we going to talk about? Tadi tu berbual pasal private property. Ada nak tanya satu benda ni. Ada kenalan ni, dia pindah daripada HDB. Dia pergi ke kondo contohnya. So I went for raya visiting. Tengok macam alamak.
Macam okey
Bukan macam okey tau.
Okay.
It's like aku tak boleh lah.
Macam claustrophobic
Yes.
Kecil lah.
Tapi rumah cantik. Rumah cantik. Bulan-bulan dia bayar about 4,000 kot. Tak silap. Tapi high floor. Balcony cantik. Tapi I cannot. Like macam masuk dalam ya Allah. I cannot. Bukan
I is small. I is small.
Ya macam saya terfikir macam like every weekend kan my family datang lepak ke apa kan. Cakap, how I want to host them kan. Tapi cantik. Tapi it depends on, I think, personal preference
Yep.
Because I also ask them like macam, why do you buy or upgrade to a condo? So dia cakap is for investment purposes. Talking about investment purposes, I also just find out whether is it true or not, aku tak tahu. I just want to ask you guys. Like macam contohnya, kalau dorang jual kondo tu and they want to go to HDB, it's about 13 months cooling period ke apa?
15 months.
15 months.
15 months, tahun lebih.
And that is very long.
Yep.
Kan? Is it a right choice for personally for KHALIFA?
Normally for those who stays in private property for investment, sometimes diorang ni just stay in that house. After that, diorang kadang-kadang tak balik HDB. So they actually multiply diorang punya property.
Oh, ni biasanya.
Yeah, diorang multiply diorang punya property. So one become two. That's what they do. Kalau those yang selalu come back to HDB is because of diorang nak retire, dah 55, dah malas nak bayar maintenance fee semua, go down to HDB. That one, kalau macam tu 55 years old, diorang tak payah wait for 15 months Correct?
Tak payah.
Tak payah.
Tak payah.
Up to 4-room flat.
Yeah, but they only can buy 4-room flat.
Interesting.
So those who want to go back to HDB, stay in private property, so you wait until you 55.
Lama tu.
You can come back.
But do you have any client yang stay in a condo for a number of years, maybe more than 10 years?
Ada.
And they just want to stay there.
Ada beli kondo masa tu 15-20 years ago, 500,000, 400,000.
Bayar habis pun.
Assuming people like I got a lot of client in Farm Garden Choa Chu Kang.
Oh yes.
And then I have about
besar tu.
Besar.
a few clients
Private
dekat
lift.
Elias Green.
Yeah.
So and then dekat Yio Chu Kang pun ada a few orchid kondo dekat Yishun. All these people bought at 400,000. Memang diorang habis bayar dah lama dah. And then CPF OA diorang banyak, RA semua dah penuh. They are in their 50s early
Oh wow.
late 50s.
Okay.
OA dah penuh, RA dah penuh, means they have been working
They have been working. So these people are very prudent. Macam kita beli dulu 20 years ago 400,000. Masa tu 20 years ago rumah beli BTO 4-room flat maybe 100,000.
Yes.
So they bought at 400,000, kira mahal. Orang takut nak beli tu. During SARS punya period, right?
Lama gila tu. SARS.
Aku dah tua.
Aku dah tua.
Yes, sir.
SARS kira kita baru-baru start lah.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Lama gila.
That time I advise to them, hit when people are afraid. Sama juga during the Lehman Brothers collapse 2009. So after them hit when people are exiting.
Right.
So when they hit, they buy. Some of them really can afford. They bought 1 or 2. Dulu tak ada ABSD, tak ada 20%, 15%.
Dia boleh beli 2-3.
Boleh.
Okay.
Boleh beli and flip terus pun.
Correct.
So they make quite a decent sum of money lah back then. Sekarang government tahu all this loophole yang mana, so they try to stop because they don't want the price to jump too high. So if you ask me about this 15-month ruling pun sama. Because they don't want to get the price. Macam HDB akan agak melambung kalau dia tak curb. And people make money dekat private. They come back to HDB. They just pay whatever price aku beli apa.
Right.
So HDB doesn't want this to happen. That's why they give the 15 months. And this ruling may be temporarily. So kita tak tahu bila dia akan lift off.
Right.
So takut nanti this private property, they will compete with the genuine HDB punya those buyers.
Genuine HDB buyers.
So diorang datang, diorang tak pernah nak tengok rumah. They just they put the price. How much you want? 1 million, I pay. So they don't mind paying the COV. So nanti they will start to spoil the punya.
Yang lain semua FOMO lah. Yang semua FOMO semua ikut 1 million lah.
Follow, semua follow kan.
Macam dulu just before this ruling came out, right? Banyak bigger units semua transacted at 1 million, 1.1. Jumbo, banyak. So senang aja. Orang jumbo semua jual. Until they come back to curb this 15 months, right? So price start to stabilize.
Okay. Kai pula boleh terus bernafas.
Sama marah.
Gantuk.
Okay Kai. Pendapat kau tentang people that living in condo. Aku rasa macam like, to be honest, orang yang majority that I know that tinggal kondo, dorang tu memang dorang punya rice bowl tu memang solid lah. Pekerjaan dorang memang baik lah. Like how pasal bila aku tanya dorang like, macam how much you pay for a month? Macam 4,000. Macam ni kalau dalam aku punya shoes right now, dengan tak tetap and kind of income tak tetap, kadang monthly you get this, monthly get that. Cakap nak bayar rumah rabak saya. Kan? Like how macam what are your advice on the young generation that look forward to macam I want to buy a condo.
Okay, first and foremost, they need to understand why they're doing it. Macam you cakap kau punya kawan, because they are doing it for investment, they must have done their due diligence. Maknanya diorang dah tahu okay berapa. Pasal initially maybe when they come in, they were attracted because of masa tu maybe if it's a new launch project, initial stage, if it's a progressive payment, initial payments will be a low interest. Kira kan murah lah, a few $100 per month. So they can cope, but they have to prepare for themselves. Bila dah dapat kunci pindah, then they will start paying that $4,000 yang macam your friend did. So I'm pretty sure they have done their own homework and preparation, and they also ensure that they have buffer already. But we always tell this to because sometimes orang lain nak beli kondo, kau pun nak beli kondo. Then we will always check back with them, kemampuan kau macam mana.
Mampu ke tak mampu kan?
Mampu tak mampu. Very important.
Actually holding power important.
Yes, holding power. We always emphasize this. You must have holding power, number one, and you must also have buffer. So anything happen, for example, kau out of job ke, retrenchment, economic recession ke, you have that income. Pasal you have to remember if you are from because of the 15-month period, let's say kau tak boleh jual, you cannot service the loan for your private. Kalau kau jual, kau tak boleh go down to HDB immediately, right? Then there will be that 15 months without period. You have to spend money because during that 15 months, kau nak kena think about renting while wait out for the 15 months. All that plays a part. That's why when they come in, they have to make sure that they understand what are they coming in for. Pasal memang orang selalu cakap, dulu people always wawarkan about sell one, buy two. A lot of good promises, good promises, but they have to make sure that they are able to fulfill all this to make sure to reach that goal.
You should be in the Tampines Junior College for the rally, my brother. Okay, Ji, mungkin ada soalan di TikTok.
Daripada Build Shops. Beliau ingin bertanya.
Ni ada satu atas.
Ada. Apa soalan dia?
Nizam.
Do you think HDB BTO starting price now too high? So tuan-tuan real estate, need your input please, walaupun with grant.
You think HDB?
Okay, that's a good one.
HDB BTO price dia akan try to be on par as much dengan resale market.
Asal
sebab dia tak boleh terlalu rendah, dia kena on par macam itu. So macam if you buy something at 10 years ago, BTO memang murah. Because resale flat price murah.
Okay. Sorry, yes. Aku naik pressure Abang Malik. Aku tahulah Abang Malik pernah pergi rumah aku. Aku tiga-tiga dia pernah pergi rumah aku. Aku takut lah.
Abang ajak pergi lah, aku tak nak pergi.
Takut.
So they actually try to
Dia akan ikut on par. Dia akan gauge. That's why you see the sale balance flat sekarang dia punya harga more than the BTO. Because dah nak siap. So price tu akan increase. Dia akan ikut resale market berapa.
Right. Okay.
So in the late 80s, late 90s, if you remember, orang sekarang selalu jual BTO untuk buat duit kan. Years later they make some money, right? The lowest I've seen about 120,000 or so. So in 1998 I think they launched during that peak. So people yang beli masa tu tinggi. So 5 years later terkena pula kat SARS, market was very bad. Those BTO yang jual semua rugi duit. Negative sale.
Shit.
Places yang affected kebanyakan dekat West, kat Segar. Yang mana banyak tingkap yang panjang. During that time kan banyak musim yang full height windows. Dekat Segar, I remember I did something over there. Dengan
what do you do there?
try to sell some.
Cakap lah.
Dah tentu topik pasal property, Syul.
Dia ambil serious. I try to do something over there.
Tak salah. Abang cakap because I did something over there.
Pasal kalau agent, unit dah dekat MOP dulu kita hantar flyers. So kita try to do something over there. Kita door knocking. So alamak, salah move lah. Rumah sini negatif, orang tak boleh jual. Because orang tak nak jual lah, dia tak buat duit apa. So my flyers pun dah keluar, then tak apalah, nak buat macam mana.
Okay. Next one.
One more daripada Build Shops. Beliau tanya, seorang wanita yang tanya ni, resale 4 bilik dekat Woodlands to Bukit Batok. Okay, from Woodlands to Bukit Batok, apa range sekarang?
Range.
Forum.
Masuk range apa dah? What is the price aja? Is it the price?
The forum. The price range between Woodlands.
Aku rasa Abang Malik boleh beli handphone baru
Bukit Batok.
Aku dah.
Dia tanya.
Okay. Alright. Astaghfirullah.
Resale forum Woodlands.
Ya.
Dia punya price range dengan
Forum
Bukit
Woodlands
Batok.
tu Bukit Batok ah.
Bukit Batok forum ke? Kalau forum Woodlands average kalau those
500 plus.
550,
600,
560 going to 600 already.
Going to 600 forum.
600.
Yup.
Yang rumah baru. Rumah
Bukit
baru.
Batok sama.
Bukit Batok pun sama. We sold at yang Bukit Batok Road tu, yang tu is 600 plus already.
Tengok rumah baru ke
rumah
rumah
baru.
lama lah. The cheapest you can get the 4S in Bukit Batok about 480,
Oh, tinggi
490.
lah.
4S.
Kita baru
It's
jual
older flat.
Ya, kita baru jual 3 room yang Bukit Batok.
Alhamdulillah. Ya
500K
Allah.
lah, I mean.
Ya,
500K.
500k 3 room flat.
3 room?
Yes, that was
500?
yes.
No.
Bukit Batok the new
See,
BTO.
you gotta be kidding. 500?
500.
Itu rumah baru lah.
Ya, memang baru lah. The 3 room.
Yalah bro, tapi 3 bilik.
Ya, 410, 420.
Oh,
So,
gila.
no much difference really.
Ni yang dekat-dekat tengah. Is it?
Dekat dengan apa tu tempat makan tu?
West Avenue 8.
No,
The
no, no.
400 plus.
Ni apa?
Bukan Alip.
Bukan Bukit Batok ni.
Aiman.
Oh,
Imam bukan
Gombak apa,
Gombak.
Gombak?
Orang. Not Gombak. The one at Bukit Batok. I lupa dia punya tempat makan. Lupa.
Di mana tu? Dekat
Air Pasang.
yang dekat MRT.
Bawah
Is it?
lagi. Dia dekat depan tu sebelah poliklinik.
Okay, then faham.
Orang-orang.
Aku dah cakap orang-orang.
Orang-orang.
Alamak, tak fokus lah.
Dekat BBDC sana. BBDC sana.
Tak, bawah lagi.
Oh, bawah lagi?
Bawah lagi.
Dekat
Orang-orang.
orang-orang.
Bawah lagi.
So that side,
Okay.
the 5 room, that one's on the 3rd floor. Then one of the room, they hack lagi. And the couple buy at 500,000.
So tinggal satu bilik je and they buy at 500,000.
Yes,
Oh
correct.
gila. Habis kalau gitu yang nanti yang neighbor-neighbor ni semua FOMO lah.
Alah.
Promo lah.
Actually korang boleh donok lah sana cakap I already sold that house at 500k. Want to sell or not? Want to sell or not? Want to sell or not?
Actually kadang-kadang when we receive inquiries kan to sell the house, dia orang akan cerita tau, my neighbor, this neighbor sell at this price. You think I can get this price or not?
Okay.
So kita akan tengok lah whether pasal
Selalu tak betul.
so that's the thing.
Yeah.
Kadang-kadang kita tak tahu betul ke tidak kan. So kita akan check. We will check with data. Then I will ask, don't have your transaction. You say your neighbor, don't know lah. My neighbor say what my neighbor say.
Okay.
So mungkin dia nak harga tinggi tapi dia poke nama neighbor dia. Kita tak tahu.
Faham.
Kan?
Talking about neighbours, nanti I nak share. Tapi before that, stay tune guys. Kita akan bersama dengan teman-teman penaja selepas ini. Dan seperti biasa, Razi.
Hubungi talian mereka di 88925882 88925882. Ikuti Facebook, Instagram dan juga TikTok mereka @KHALIFA.
Realtor.